So we're live again.
Part 2.
Second time's a charm, as they say. So only you know where we left off. So I'll let you guys start where we left off.
Okay, as you can see, we had a problem. John got kicked out. It's something that happens. The ideal thing is that you don't panic, especially if you're working with somebody. Then we were able to keep going until it stopped broadcasting. But apart from that, we were all good to go. We were talking about circles. Julie got told that it was a waste of time to do circles and that, and we went through explaining no, it isn't if you do it properly in the way to engage and everything else. So that was as far as we got. So was there anything else that you wanted to go? Because we covered, you know, what you've been up to, the success you've had on there. Then the question was, you know, how can I get more engagement on Google Plus? So that was why I said that you've got to start following the people and then start commenting on their posts, as long as the posts are good. If not, you just get rid of that person, because there's no point in actually following somebody that you don't want to. And on that point, according to another student of ours, Adam, they have increased the amount of people that you can follow now. I think they doubled it, didn't they?
Yeah, 5,000 to 10,000.
Yeah, because you used to have a 5,000 restriction. So it's gone to 10, which gives you a lot more leeway now.
So one of the things that we kind of use is circle count and circle scope, which we heard are now combined together, which is great, because you can kind of see who's really engaging with you, who you want to circle up, and who you want to share stuff with. And a little while back, our friend Mike Alton was saying that, you know, the one thing you want to start to do as time goes on is get people to come and add themselves to a list, so that you can say, hey, I just posted a new thing today. I'd love to share it with you. Come take a look. So that you can go out and do that and actually circle up the people and put them in a notification circle as well. So kind of interact with them on a couple fronts.
On one of the things that we used to say about Google authorship, they are now saying that is dead. Whether that's going to be a long-term thing or not, I don't know. But if you have done anything on Google authorship, and what Google authorship means is that if your post got picked up in the search engines, that your image would show besides that post. Whether that gets picked up or not, I don't know. But the one thing I did learn today is that Google is putting more onto domains that have got HTTPS on there. The S bit is because you get the certificate, which is for your domain, saying it's a proper domain, basically. I think you've got to have it on a single IP address to be able to get that, although they used to do shared certificates depending on the host company that you get. Some you have to buy, some come in with your domain. I don't know if you can add to that, John.
Yeah, I was going to say don't do anything on it yet. I may be able to get everybody a sweet deal. We'll see what we can do. But yes, we were just talking about that the other night, in fact. So Jeff O'Day is going through the thing of doing the certificates.
Okay, because there's like 2 different types of certificates as well. So we'll get more information on that, but that's just something to bear in mind at the moment.
Yes. So I'll have more to come on that shortly. Yeah, because Google authorship was great. I mean, you could literally see your traffic double overnight if you went through the process. So.
And anybody that was connected with you along the line, they would see your post and be more likely to click on it because it had your image.
Your photo next to it. Exactly. So we'll see what happens. We'll be watching that anxiously see where it all falls into play.
It's circle count, Victoria.
Thank you.
Circle
And
count.
hold on, Victoria, let me add a thing for you. Adam tagged me in something that he said that explains the merge. So hold on and I'll post that.
Oh, circle count and circle scope.
Thanks, honey.
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. One kind of tracks who you're interacting with. The other helps you to interact with the people who are interacting with you.
Yeah, no, he
You know how you can see us down the bottom when we're talking now?
Mm-hmm.
Can someone that's public see us in the video?
They can. I could stop that.
Oh, it's just that now that you've centered your lower third, I can't see all of the words because our picture's down the bottom covering it.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. That's just one of those things.
Yeah, you can fix that with the cameraman app. You can use the cameraman app so that whoever is speaking is in the center screen, and then it eliminates the film strip. I kind of like the film strip though, personally.
Yeah.
But obviously, people will still see the.
All right, so I just noticed this. Is it hang dash casting? I did hang cast, or hang casting is one word.
That's okay.
That's fine.
One word's fine.
Do you know that used to be called a band?
A band?
A band, you know, guitars and stuff.
Yeah, I know.
I did a Google search and I came up with this random band.
Oh, hang casting. It
casting.
wasn't a band, yeah. Okay. That's fine. I'm not too worried about that. I think we'll probably knock them out of the search engine pretty soon.
Yeah, no, the dash got put in there, but we are going to be taking that out.
That's an easy fix.
Not a problem. Right, what else is there to report? Is it, before we go on, is there anything else that you're not sure of or would like to learn about or know about? Anybody?
I'll be talking a little more about promotion in the next couple classes.
Yeah, promotion, again, anything. I'm following that one guy, but about sponsorships. You know, I definitely... And then I still can't get it wrapped around my brain, and I might just have to visualize it. I mean, I really, if this goes well, because, you know, when I started all this process with you all, I did stuff for all... Well,
there's no if this goes well. It's when this goes perfectly.
Thank you. It's all about your
matter of time.
No, I'm super serious about that. So what else is possible, right, Victoria?
Yeah, baby, I hear you.
So anyway, when we started this, John, I don't know if you remember, like I have photos for the other shows. Anyway, all the stuff's ready to roll. It'll just be interviewing and editing and all the post stuff. But I guess worst case, you guys were brilliant to suggest Blueberry, but it sounds like I can't do another add-on to that to have it come back to my site, and I'd have to use Libsyn as the main thing. Because you know how we filled out, and I know you tried to explain it last week, but it hasn't sunk in.
Okay. You wanted to do a second show.
Correct.
Okay.
And possibly a third. I let one of them go, but I really feel like these two might be coming up.
That's okay. And the second show is going to be on another website, right?
No. See,
Okay.
that's what I spent working with you guys, and the other thing I did this summer was I had 3 websites and was ready to have a nervous breakdown. And so one is gone, we're down to 2, and the other one will go in February. But what I did with the Reawaken Your Brilliance is have coaching and what I do for writing and what I do for clearing the clutter. Now what I would do is somehow, I don't know how it works, but because WordPress updated, it's actually really cool. I have a slider, and you can click right it and go to the YouTube channel to that playlist. So yeah, so it would see. That's what my thing is. I don't want to do another website. I think I'll have a nervous breakdown.
Okay, that's okay. Let me think about that a second.
Do you want more than a couple of seconds or not?
I need more than a couple seconds, I think.
Right.
Let me hash it around. Because usually what happens, and that's why I asked you earlier. I said, is it going to be a different topic?
Right. No, see, I completely differ.
It is going to be a completely different topic.
Oh yeah. I mean, so clearing the clutter is what I'd call. I want to do something really woo-woo, and I want to do something else. Why is Ted smiling too much over there?
There's two things we can. He likes the woo-woo thing. We're all kind of woo-woo. It's all good. No worries. You can obviously direct, if you're going to put them on the same site, is it going to, the two things that I would ask is it going to be confusing to your site visitors, having them part of one site? You could always differentiate those episodes with a different name, like have the name be the differentiator. You're just not going to have you're not going to be able to have a different graphic on it or whatever, but it could be like still part and parcel to the same site. It goes by where you post the things. Like in our sense, I've got a podcast I'm setting up for my JohnPaduchak.com site. We've got the Learn, Turn, and Earn site and podcasting it. And podcasting can be different things to different people. Some are complete shows. Some are just what I would call a alternative way of spreading content.
Right, yeah. Well, yeah, then I just have to give it a little more thought, and I'm not ready there. And then the other option would be already sign up on Libsyn, and you can do another show, and you can just follow their instructions and that way. But, I mean, I think you all are smart because it not only posts the podcast, but it brings it back to my website, which I want as opposed to Libsyn.
Because one of the problems is this. I've heard of people who've then tried to take their podcast and then transition it, the ones that are on Libsyn, and it's a bad scene because then you're all tied into Libsyn setup, and you can't just transition it over to your own site again. It's a mess. So another alternative would be just to put up like a little mini podcast site in a different
subdomain. Oh, they have that? Is it like a WordPress site?
Yeah. It would be just like kind of a separate.
That might be the best solution.
Yeah. That might be another alternative.
Because what I'm afraid of, and what I don't want to get into, and that why I went down to one website, trying to do social media, even with stuff like Hootsuite, and I'm organized, it was too much to do blog posts, it was too much work for me to run 3 sites.
Yeah, because
yeah, okay.
Yeah. So, is there if you still want to do this, is there anybody else that you could trust and be happy doing like a partnership with?
That's a thought.
That's a possibility. One of the products that's coming out that Ted and I were looking at possibly promoting has a podcast page to it, the quick pages. That could be a nice quick setup. It opens up on the 16th.
Yeah, that is shortly.
16th. So
you
next
know
week.
that link?
Yeah, we'll have that link
link
when it's available. Is that what?
Yeah, that's the one we looked at the other day.
Yeah, that's the one we looked at.
I lost that link.
Oh.
Well, you're not having it until we get our affiliate.
Until we get ready to buy it.
No, you know how you showed us that website that was due to launch.
That's the one we're
I've forgotten what it was called. I couldn't.
Yeah, that does work.
What was it
Quick pages
called?
or something?
No.
I don't remember what it's called. I gotta look it up.
I ain't telling her.
I can't remember because I lost a lot of stuff on my computer.
I think Ted doesn't want to tell you because he wants you to buy it from us. I think is what he's saying. No, well.
I think that's when I was talking about membership sites and cranking through sites and the time
making
it took
pages faster. It'll
Yeah.
come out. It's coming out the 16th, so a couple more days. I'll dig out the link.
Cool, thanks.
No, but that's good. I'll put that's something to think. That's good. Perfect.
That could make things faster for you in doing that. But I would maybe put it on just a separate subdomain, so it's part of the same site. It's just a different directory.
So
different
I could have
subdomain.
Reawaken Your Brilliance in a subdomain.
Yeah, you could even have Reawaken
Shut
Your Brilliance.
up.
You could even have Reawaken Your Brilliance as a completely different WordPress install on your reawakenyourbrilliance.com site. You
I
can have a
have no
completely
clue
separate
what
install.
you said, but okay.
Yeah, but I think I would make it a subdomain one, and then just maybe make it just a podcast page, and then you could have a page on your main page that refers to the subdomain one. Well, we can walk through that. You know what? Maybe we'll walk through that and just kind of draw that out, what that would look like.
Yeah, that would be helpful.
Yeah, that's just one way I can think of doing it.
Okay, perfect. All right, outstanding.
Ted looks like he's deep in thought.
No.
You got a different idea on it?
No, it all depends how much work Julie wants to do, but
I think minimum amount would just be a podcast page.
yeah.
Is it called WPProfitBuilder.com?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But don't buy it. Yeah, what I was going to say was you could always vary the content a little bit, but one of the good sites would be to put it on WordPress.com.
Well, except then you're tied into WordPress.com with it, and then.
No.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. In fact, that's actually something that we're going to talk about as part of the promotional strategy.
Yeah.
So, all right. Yeah. Now I understand what you're saying.
Mm.
All right. Let's put it in Julie language.
No, I'm listening. No clue.
Okay. What you do a lot of times to promote Hangouts is put them on, embed them on other Web 2 sites and all of that. And WordPress.com is one of those. You could easily set up I don't know what you would want to call it, whether it would be awakenyourbrilliance.wordpress.com or whether it would be some twist of that. But there you can kind of pull them all together in one place. I'll have to explain that a little deeper as we go along.
And
right now it's
you
hard
just
to
have one link back to your site, but that link is worth a lot.
It is worth a lot.
And it's not just WordPress you can do it with, it's Tumblr and various other ones, even blogger.com.
But there you'd be able to kind of mold them all together.
Mm.
Okay. All right, I'm definitely open to that. Because I'm not ready. Got to get this and get some other stuff done, and then
that's why we try to watch what we tell you so that you don't get overwhelmed. We'd rather you complete something even if you don't quite meet your goals, but at least you're still going forward instead of getting overwhelmed and then what do I do here, what do I do there, and do nothing. So
in fact, if you posted them out, that would put them all, that would kind of bring them all together in one place.
Okay.
You could still have two separate sites for them, but that would be the place that brings them both together.
I just want what I want is the Blueberry, and I like that system you all recommended. That's what I want. That's all I want. I don't want blah, 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 blah. No, I just want a little separate thing that I can upload them and then connect and have them sent out. That's all I want.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's easy.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
This doesn't even have to be a perfect page by any stretch. So okay, I think I know how we can do it.
Perfect. All right, we'll stew on that and then put it together so it translates to my brain.
Okay.
And then I'm good. Those are my questions for today.
Oh, hey, you know what did you see what I lost, Ted?
Yeah. See if you can get it back.
Yeah. Lower third's gone.
Now it's Victoria's time.
Well, had a meeting with Scott about that magazine.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And that was interesting. Sounds like he doesn't want to let go of the baby, but he's really wanting an editor to manage the magazine. So I said, interesting. And I sort of said, well, I said I'd do it, but I have some questions because he's talking about advertising and stuff like that. So I'm really getting a no, but I've said yes. So over this weekend, I'm really going to sit down and have a think about it because it's not for deadlines and stuff like that. I want control of something like that. Because if I'm the editor, I don't want someone, like he goes, oh, you've got a graphic designer to do this and someone else to do that. And we're not going to start advertising until we've got a certain amount of people. And I'm just like, man, you know, like, if people pay for stuff, then they will make an effort to advertise on it. That's what I'm getting from that, is that, you know, when people don't pay for things, they don't value it as much.
Yep.
And he said, oh, you know, and you can find a graphics designer. I said, I'm not going to find a graphics designer that's not going to be paid for a magazine. No. You know, for me to go to get all of these graphics done. And he said, oh, well, you know, I can do that, and I've got InDesign. And I just thought, well, you know, that's awesome and interesting, but really, I can see that it'll be a real tail dragger like it has been. So.
Yeah. If you like the idea of doing a magazine, do your own.
Yeah, because what I've just heard you say, he wants to keep it, get you to do all the donkey work, and then he gets all the credit.
And suck you right into the abyss of poverty.
And I'm just far too freaking busy to go down that path right now, so I've got to find a way to get out of this now.
You just tell him your thought about it and you'll change your mind because you can't have control of it, because that's not how he advertised that.
No, that's correct.
So
he advertised to sell it. So
right.
For me, I would be happy if I was the owner of that magazine. And, you know, what he wants to do is he actually wants to sell that UDO platform. And, you know, it's $180 a year. And you can actually publish through the free side of UDO with a magazine as opposed to doing what he is doing. The only difference with that is that if you are going to have the digital publishing and the paid side of it to get the videos in it, like if we were to put a hangout of us in it live, you know, and then we linked it back, then you'd have to pay for the paid version of that. Otherwise, it's just like a digital magazine with no video or audio in it. So I'm getting a no on that, but I have said a yes. So I just will let it sit for the weekend because he's given me a video to cut because I did a recording. And he was welcoming me on as the editor, and I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to sit on it over the weekend and contact him probably Sunday night and say, listen, for this to work for me, it would have to be totally different structured. It would have to be paid advertising because that's what a magazine does. You know, they may take one person in once a month or whatever, even though he's been in sales of print media for ages.
I won't allow you to do it.
Yeah, out of the print media for 5 years.
Yeah.
No one doesn't pay. If they want their ad in a paper, they pay for it.
Yeah.
So
Victoria, don't give him ideas. No. You want to just say your thought. Right. Don't say any of that. You want to just say no. You thought about it. You'd be prepared to take it over if he wants to see that exist. But otherwise, you're walking away from it. Don't add anything else. Don't complicate it. Just say that you thought about it. It's not going to fit into what you want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't make that might come over after you.
I'm getting too busy. And to be honest, I'd like to have a magazine that's a digital magazine that's promoting, like I want, there's a couple of things that I want to do, and going down, having a structure of what someone else has got already in place is great, but mate, I have books and books of ideas and stuff, so it would just be a distraction that I don't need right now.
That's what I'm saying to you.
Yeah.
If that's that great, why hasn't he done anything with it?
Right.
Obviously, he doesn't know what to do with it, regardless to if he says he's been in sales and everything else. Because if he'd been in sales, that would be working. That's come to it. Did you ask him why it hasn't got any further than it has?
Because it was funny because he said he just wants to sell the platform, right? So he said, all I want to do is sell the platform. I'm not really interested in the magazine. And so when I sort of said to him, well, like I must have been under the wrong impression, but I got the impression that you were actually selling the magazine. And he said, oh, well, how much would you buy it for? And I said, well, it depends if it's for sale. And then he went off, oh, well, you could be the editor. And so he just danced around it. So Sunday I'll ring him and I'll say, I've been thinking about it all week, and I've, the way that you've come up with this idea is not going to work for me. So either I do purchase this magazine off you and run with it, and maybe come to you for the odd point of view, but basically no.
No. The other term is that you can say, I had a word with my partners and we decided not to go on. He said, you didn't mention partners, so there wasn't any need to. And that's as simple as that. Walk away from it, because that sounds like he's changing the goals every time that you speak to him.
Right.
And that's not what you want. If you're going to do, fine, but it's no big deal because you can set your own up.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. And I was just like, because he said, oh, I want to do it every month. I said, listen, I'm far too busy to be chasing people, for something like this to happen. It needs, and so I said it would have to be seasonal or whatever, but I said it's just for what
he would be lying in his own pockets. He'd be getting you to do the work to line his own pockets. That's what my interpretation of it is.
Yep, that's what I got too. Yeah, so I did nothing with it. I just dropped that video. I didn't get a ping to cut that and get that to him, because I had been thinking, if I'm going to be investing that much time in something, it will be in a magazine that is my creation, and I'm not going to go out and find other people to interview and shit if it's not going anywhere. If I can get it for free, I'll do it. If I can get that magazine off him, I'd still do it. Yeah. But I don't want him to have anything to do with it. If I'm buying it, I'm buying it, thank you very much, and I'm walking away with it, and I'm going to develop it. Otherwise, nah.
Well, you can see that he hasn't had the interest in it. If you say there was somebody offered him a penny for it, well, you'll be if it's 2p.
Yeah, I'm happy to put, yeah, that's right. I'm happy to put a one-liner in there, referring them to him to buy the platform, but that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
2p's a bit expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't continue that any further. I should just let it cut short and then walk away from it. And you might find that because nobody else has shown any interest, he might just turn around and say, take it. Don't know, but my guess is that, he's changed the goals. So. Right.
Definitely.
Apart from that, that's one thing. What else?
So what else is that I'm currently working on my Victoria Hickman website, and I'm linking my Access Choosing You site to it. So I've decided to have Victoria Hickman just as like a drop-in page where you can sign up to maybe build a subscriber list from, and then to link out to my other business site. So it's really just a touch-based site from there. And I'll also do when I've decided on a production's name, I'll just link that into either one or the other, you know, just do a redirect. So because I've got that domain, I don't want to dump it, because I did actually have it ages ago, and then I let the domain expire and I lost it for 3 years, and then I got it back. So I don't want to lose my main domain name. So yeah, so thinking about what name I can give the business in the sense of tying everything into that, and starting to do a few graphics and stuff here and there, I think, to get that up and running. So buying a few images and like things that I can put in the background of graphics to do what Julie's been doing, and to post them like just with sayings and stuff like that, and to get the production side of my business up and moving pretty quick. So to offer services like the Hangout productions, as well as promoting, as well as graphics if that's required. And like that website stuff, like the WP Profit Builder looked really good, but I'm not going to invest a heap of money if I'm only going to have to pay $97 for 3 websites to design, you know, fuck that. I mean, stuff that I'd rather just do it the other way around, you know, focus on my Hangout producing, and think about how Julie's been talking about promoting is really, you know, I did a social media course a few years ago, but I'm really interested in promoting through Facebook events, through Facebook on events, which would also relate to the launching of my sites too, just to get that up and moving. And you know, like, would you post daily with that? Would you post once it was up? How would you promote it through Facebook? Would you pay for ads?
Could I make a suggestion first? Instead of getting ahead of yourself, do one step at a time. I'll refer back to Julie, because she did it right. She started off right from the basics. Get your website done first, and anything else that comes after that before you go on to promotion. Julie can probably give you some suggestions on that, but promotion should be virtually the last thing that you do when you're up and running and you've got content in there. But until you do the rest, you're wasting your time, because if people go to a site that's not ready, they're not going to subscribe, they won't want to do anything. So concentrate on that website regardless to anything else. Put those blinkers on and just start doing it. Julie, got some suggestions for Victoria, please?
I would do a press release, because that is something that you can do keywords for, and that, you know, depending on what you want to focus on, that's like, I would say that hands down is a good thing to do. Again, obviously on social media, I always say to people, you know, who are your biggest cheerleaders? If you have friends or family that can do what I call, like, I do this with all my clients. Like, I do their stuff, but then I promote it as well, but it really is coming from a genuine, oh my gosh, my friend has this great class, check it out, like do you know what I mean, as opposed to, like, you can tell when someone's promoting it from a, I'm hired to promote this. You don't want that. It's like, oh my gosh, my friend's so awesome, look at what she's doing. So that, but the press release, and here's why I say that. What has happened with me, for myself and my clients, is I've been able to create a long tail. So people are looking at the press releases 2 and 3 years down the road. So you would understand. You and I speak the same language, so you know we vibrate up like this. So you might be perfect for someone, but they might not need you until a year from now. But if you have done a good keyword search and press release, they're going to find you. That's just another avenue to find you, I should say. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, and I guess it's because I've got this seminar coming up in 2 weeks now. It's only 2 weeks out, and you know we're up to 95 people for this advanced body class, and that's why I was asking about promoting an event, is that people are really starting to register flat out, and so I'm thinking, oh crap, I need to get on and start promoting this on Facebook more. There is 1 or 2 other ladies doing it, but they're not really active with it, and that will kind of give me a bit of a test on how to promote my businesses when they're up and running, and my bars classes that I run as well. I'm not really actively promoting them, but it's like $200 a day. You know, you get paid if you're doing a bars class, so it's a good.
I also want to suggest another thing to think about. Obviously, you want to do a press release if you have a class, a book, you're launching a new project, but you also want to position yourself as an expert. And so if there's something you can make a commentary on your industry or what's going on, hey, you know, people say blah, 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 but, you know, you either agree with it or I don't, and here's why, because you want to be like, oh, that's interesting, she has that take on it. You know, whatever that is, but that's another way to get the word out about what you're doing and show you know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Julie,
Yeah, cool.
could I ask you, have you got enough time that you could do a press release for Victoria?
Yeah, I'll do one.
Now, that's pay back for your graphics, Victoria.
Thank you.
What you need to do is you need to send me all your information possible. Like about it, send me links. If you've written anything, send it to me. It'll be easier for me to edit and write it.
Is this for the advanced body class, or what are you talking about, Ted, when you said that? Were you referring to my pod stuff?
What do you... Go ahead.
He muted himself.
Go ahead.
What I was going to say is, because you were going on that you want to know about promotion and that, and Julie has said to do a press release. So why I suggested if she could do a press release for you is because it then helps you out. You'll be able to see how that press release was written as well. So you're learning for the future as well, because you've got to do it in a third person's way of doing it. You don't talk about it's my website and that, you know, it's this website was released as such and such, so which Julie can tell you more than what I can. But
yeah, so I'll probably need another week to get that together, I think, because I'm really just getting it out of my head now about the structure of the Hangout. And actually, I'm terrified, okay, guys, I'll admit it, about doing the Hangout presenting.
right.
And then I'll send you a link where you can post it that's free, and that I found
cool.
they also have a pro version, which, you know, depending on your thing, but I found it's the best deal because it lasts forever. Some people are like, oh, we'll post your press release for free, but it only lasts 3 months. Like I've told you, 2 and 3 years down the road, people have gotten business spaces on press release. So you want to set up PR log, set your room up, your press room up, and put information about your thing. And if you have a template for me, then that's something you can do every month. But it's well, in my opinion, it's well worth your time.
Right. That's the offer from Julie. So when you're ready, okay, you know Julie will help you out on that. So what you need...
You're so awesome.
Yeah,
absolutely.
What you need is our help to boot you into gear and get you more confident on Hangouts and production work of it. So what
you're making my tummy go all fizzy.
So what we need to do is to perhaps we'll have a private Hangout so that we can teach you the different things and what you should be doing, what you we'll give you the checklist. Did we give you the checklist? Well, we'll sort that out, but we can give you the full Hangout etiquette and everything else and how things work on there to get you up to speed, because you've already been accepted that you know a lot more about Hangouts than a lot of people. So you've just got to get that out. And as I said before, the other thing that you've got going for you is you're female.
Thank you. One thing that I have noticed is that with my computer-based training, when people ask me how to do stuff, which was quite funny because here we were looking at jumping in and out of our screen earlier in our session today, and that was that people ask me how to do something, so I like to jump out and take them through that. And when I did that Joy of Technology training with them, part of that in the training is I did a hangout, and then I jumped out and went and showed someone, stepped them through it, and then I came back into the hangout, and I got a little bit of feedback about how they really liked that. It was, you know, do this, do that, and I was talking and they could see that. So, and that's a little bit different.
Concerns?
What was that, hon?
I'm just curious what your concerns are. Like, are you afraid? I ask this because just talking to you, you have a good presence, and I say this from someone who's interviewed 100,000 people, it seems like at this point. I know you're going to prepare, and I have to tell you as an interviewer, you know, people preparing makes all the difference in the world. You know, I'm going to tell you this. The first time I did a hangout, I don't know if I shared this story, I hung up on myself. Now, don't ask me how I managed to do that, but I did. And you know what? That was one of my biggest fears. I'm going to screw it up. Guess what? It happened, and I lived. And I tell this story all the time. And I didn't quite understand how it works. So, you know, it's already uploaded to my YouTube channel. I kid you not. Within 5 seconds, someone put the big old thumbs down, and I survived. So yeah, I'm just saying, like, you've shown me enough. I'm not worried about you. So what are your concerns? So maybe if we talk through, that helps.
Well, you know, with the work I'm doing with Access, we're also doing at the moment I'm doing a money class with Shannon O'Hara, and it's all about stepping into your potency, and it's kind of like are you going to just sit at being mediocre, or are you ready to really step up and, you know, make the change in your life, or go out and get a job again, kind of thing, you know. So I know that fear is like a distractor to the potency that will come out once I start it. You know what I'm saying? Is that I know once I start doing these, I'm actually scared that I'm going to get so busy that I won't cope, you know, which I don't know where that's even coming from. It's like, what is that about? It's
right. If you get too busy, you just get somebody else to help you out.
Yeah,
that's as simple as that.
Virtual assistants.
You know,
yeah.
Why you seem comfortable is because you're in a presence that you feel comfortable in, and all you've got to do is keep that in your mind when you're doing things. You know, you can picture, say, us being on there with you, even if we're not. You know, it's just things like that. You have got the ambition. You're not scared in coming forward, so I can't see a problem. It's just you've got to know Hangouts a little bit better. And also on a couple of things that I've seen, you say, oh, we'll try this for that. You don't say you try, you're going to do. And, oh yeah, this should work. No, this is going to work. If it doesn't, then you can change it.
Then you try something else.
Yeah. But yeah, and just I guess getting clear is what I need to do. That's why I'm feeling a bit like this, is because I'm not clear about the direction that I'm thinking about taking this in. And so I'm like, once I get clear on what, you know, like, so now over the weekend I'm going to sit down and really pan out the direction I want to take this in, really. So, you know, I don't want to get the business moving and then go, oh, hang on a minute, no, I should have done this, and then, you know, because I know how I run after shiny objects. So I'm really getting, now is the time to get clear. I can't get this business moving and then want to change the track of it, because it won't work like that. And again, that's coming back to the business in case, you know, that woman, oh, this is live, maybe I'll talk about that when we go off. You know, the other hangout person come on.
But also be flexible, because, you know, you might have a direction and find that something works better. I mean, I look at this whole podcast thing. You know, I went to a studio and did a show, and I love Google Hangouts and podcasts 1,000 times. And I tell you this because, you know, one, to be flexible, but it took me a while to get to the point to let the other show go, even though I knew in my heart and my intuition's like, come on now, it's time to let it go. but being like, okay, I'm ready to do that next opportunity or whatever, knowing, okay, and you're all into the access consciousness. I know you've got an intuition there and you listen to it, and being like, okay, I started out on this path, but I might need to take a twist and a turn, and that's okay, and you'd figure out how to blend it in, and you can still do it within what you have. I mean, I really think that makes sense.
Oh, it does, and yeah, so it's just to get clear, get the website moving. Obviously, I just have to make those adjustments to Access Choosing You that we talked about the other week for my website. I've started to do that to get that. I really would like to automate that site as much as I can, so I'm not on it much, and then really pour everything into this Hangout stuff because, well, probably 5 months it's been now, has it? I don't know, it feels like 6 months that I've been playing with Hangouts, so I'm over that and time to really move with it. So yeah.
Can I just say, you take it what Julie was like when she was first with us, worrying about this, that, and everything else, and she's taken in a stride what she couldn't do, what she didn't know. She would ask the questions, but she still wouldn't. If she couldn't contact us, then she'd go and look for the answer herself and what have you.
Yeah.
Now look at her, she's a lot more relaxed and that. Okay, it's not. If you get stressed a little bit, it doesn't matter. You know that you'll contact one of us, and we'll be there at some stage within sort of 24 hours at the most. But you can do that, but you must put that anchor down and start, because
I do to help with that too.
You know.
What's really funny is that I've got this thing about, oh my God, I'm going to be so busy, and then I've got this thing like, oh my God, I'm not going to get any clients. So
you don't.
Girlfriend, blow that up.
Really weird.
Yeah,
You're worrying about things that haven't happened. Just go start.
Okay, back to this 10 seconds.
Yeah,
I'm just going to do that. 10 seconds.
First thing
10
is the
seconds,
website.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
Hey, Victoria, I know this great podcast. It's called The Clearing the Clutter on the Inside Out. And
I should jump on that.
and one of the episodes is on creativity. It's already posted, so you might enjoy it.
There you go.
And about getting stuck and clearing that clutter. So I throw that out there.
Have you got the link to that, Julie?
Yeah, hold on.
Give me it right now.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
stop
stop the
recording.
recording.